Hey, welcome to Travel Tuesday Happy Hour, where we interview dope people doing dope things with one thing in common, the love for travel. We have a great guest lined up. Grab a drink, stay tuned.
Middle finger music.
What's going on, travel fam? If you ever thought about starting a podcast, check out Anchor. Anchor is free. Anchor will provide you tools to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast to multiple streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need right in one app. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
So tell us who you are and what do you do?
My name is Ariel. I am a translator. I am also a singer, and then I also study paralegal.
Okay. So what got you into traveling?
Besides the languages, there's always the food and the music. Basking in like a different culture, it really opens your mind. Coming from a poor country like Haiti, you see things, and then when you get to discover, you understand, like Ashley was saying previously, the opportunities and privileges that you have compared to some people. And I think for me, I like to chase sunsets, especially because wherever I go, especially if there's water, there's the ocean, I need that to feel like I'm home. Besides that, seriously, there's always the food. I need the music. I'm a singer. I live for that. So when you go someplace and then you feel the music, then it's like the universal language.
So what was like your first experience traveling?
My first travel was actually my first time flying was coming to Canada.
Oh wow! You're in Canada now?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
we in Canada, people! Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and that was my first travel. And after that, I went to Spain, I went to Portugal, and I've done cruises to a couple islands. And then recently, I've been to Cuba, and I have a lot more on my list. But we'll see when COVID decides to let us out.
That's dope. So I've always wanted to know, like, with travel, Canada has fewer travel restrictions than the United States, of course, right? You guys have about like 100 and some countries you guys can go without a visa. And we're kind of like a little behind you guys. Well, a lot behind you guys. And so like, is it just like, you're Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory as it comes to traveling? Or, are you restricted by time and location and stuff like that?
Mostly I'm just restricted, besides work. That's the only reason why I always put off traveling. And I'm always saying, I have school, I have exams, I have to work. Maybe my boss won't let me leave because, there's work to do. But then I decided this year, actually, I was, after putting it off for 5 years, that I was going to go to New Orleans. But then I booked my tickets and everything was done. And you have COVID, and that put a stop to it.
Wow.
You put a stop to it. But you know what? It's just that's how life is. Sometimes you plan and then God laughs at you. It just
listen. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find a Creole proverb, but Wap con George is all I can think of.
Exactly, Wap con George.
Wap con George. So I really wish I had you on last month for our Haitian Heritage Month. And, we had a dope group of people come through and just, talk about their experience. So I'm going to just ask you, like, how does it feel? So being Haitian in Canada is not like it's a needle in a haystack, right? We're all over the place in Canada, right? How is it like being Haitian and traveling? Like, what is your traveling experience? What has being Haitian done to you to kind of be more open to travel or improve your traveling experience?
It's basically, I'm gonna revert back to the language thing. It's just the languages. Seriously, that's how I connect to people. When I meet new friends, I always want to learn. How to say hello in their language. Just to make them feel welcome. Because sometimes you're far away from home, you can't meet anyone who just speaks your language, and sometimes you feel like there's a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't connect with the person as you would with somebody who's from home. So when you give them that opportunity, to just connect with me, just give me something that I can connect with you. You just make them feel a little bit more at home. And some people sometimes when you tell them, I can say hello in Arabic, I can say hello in Romanian. They always go for the fact that do you have a Romanian boyfriend or how? No, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship in order for you to want to learn something. It's not all there is in life. You just want to connect with people. That's basically the only reason why I like to travel a lot. And the fact that I have a little Cuban background, it helps me more to connect with people with Latin backgrounds. But that won't stop me, for example, to go and speak a little bit of Arabic or just a few words in German. As much as I can, grasp it, I will say it.
That's dope. That's dope. So what keeps you traveling? Like, what makes you excited about getting on that next plane ride to like another country or exploring somewhere else?
That's the food. The food. There's always the food.
Yes, you're a foodie just like me. Yes.
Yes, the food. Definitely the food. And, there's always the fact that it opens your eyes to learn something new. And you don't really, there's always, here you have the routine. You want to get out of the routine, see something else, get some fresh air. When you watch the sunset, you feel at peace. I don't know about you, but that for me, every time I watch the sunset, I want to cry.
See, I never catch the sunset, so I'm never that lucky.
Oh, I
have one too many of these, and then I'm asleep before it happens.
No. I drink too when I'm abroad, but then I always make sure that when it's time for sunset or sunrise, sometimes I would just not sleep. I did that in Cuba. Everybody went to sleep the night before we left. I made it it was my purpose to catch the sunrise by the beach. So I stayed awake the whole night and I watched the sunrise in Cuba. And it was amazing.
That's amazing. Dope. That's dope.
That's my life.
That's dope. So you talked about so we're gonna shift topics a little bit, right? So we talked about respecting other cultures, understanding other cultures, and being able to, just move around, in such a way. And, you also talked about COVID-19. Like, we're going to start with the latter. Neither one of them are light at this point, right? So let's talk about COVID-19. How has that kind of impacted, your travel or just life as we move on to, month 3, month 4? I lost track of time.
It's okay. At first it was hard, very hard, because, I was looking forward to traveling, going to New Orleans, and then I would be on another flight to Florida to see my family. I haven't seen them in 2 years. So at first, yeah, like I said, it was super hard, but then, it helped me put some other things into perspective. There was projects that I wanted to start that I never did because, lack of time. And so I started. I started recently working on my blogging website. I haven't launched it yet. So I'm just rewriting everything from my journal to my computer. And then eventually, when it's time, I'm going to be able to launch. Also working on music videos and projects with my friends to help with Black Lives Matter. But we're going to get back to that subject. So I don't mind staying at home at all. But the only thing I do is I'm missing it with my friends. In fact, I lost my voice because I don't sing at all anymore. But,
if you came to New York every day at 7 o'clock, they're screaming out the windows just to give support for the New York City workers. Literally at 7 o'clock to 7:05, they're they're banging on pans, screaming out the window.
Oh
You
God.
probably would have given a whole concert at that point.
Nah, at this point I would lose my voice. I'm not big on screaming and yelling. In fact, I don't yell. I would sing. I like to project.
There you go,
Yeah.
project. There you go, there you go. So that leads me to the next question I was going to ask. Being a person of color, especially in Canada, right? How has the civil unrest here in the United States kind of trickled over to Canada? And let's be honest, right? I've been to Canada. I know people in Canada. Um, they're just nice about it, right?
Yes.
They're just
Yes,
nice
indeed.
about it, but it doesn't remove the fact that it exists there. And I think that's one thing that, I just want to make sure that you can, put that out there. If you're comfortable with it, that is.
Absolutely.
So tell us about that.
It's there, but it's subtle. They try to mask it with something else, but definitely. I was actually listening to a friend sent me a portion of the news this morning where the guy who was delivering the news, he said nigger, but he also tried to catch himself and say something else. Sometimes it comes out, and I have not personally lived it as much. I mean, it exists in workplaces. I once worked for this company where at one point it was getting so bad that they would ask the employees not to speak their native language between themselves. I mean, that's discrimination right there. At the time, I didn't know it. Thank God, I left this company. But when you think about it, it just baffles you how much they can pretend to, like, they're oblivious to the fact that it exists when they are doing it every day. And so I was also talking to another friend about it. When you're applying for a new job and they are interviewing you, you also have to interview them, because when you want to work for a company, you need to make sure that where you're going to be working, it's not some kind of some place that they want to keep you as a mental prisoner. You need to feel like you're entering some kind of I don't know how I put it, like a garden. It's fresh. Your coworkers, they inspire you to be better, not trying to keep you down, and so you won't thrive in the company. But it's life. It happens. But I hope we continue fighting. It is not just something that we're gonna do temporary until it dies down. I am not a type of person who likes to confront people, but I would prefer to work behind the scenes, and I will do my part in the meantime, and eventually, hopefully, things get better. Besides that, it's just a little scary. For
Yeah,
sure. I have my nephews, I have my brother out there, and when you see them growing up, you worry about them so much that sometimes you don't want them to get out at all. But you can't confine anybody to stay home. They need to go out there, make mistakes, and learn from their mistakes. But then they have to have that opportunity to make the mistake. You can't kill them at first hand. So,
right.
Yeah. So there's that.
So I appreciate you talking on that. And it's something that just because we're from two different countries don't mean we have similar experiences, right? I too have those issues. I used to work for a company where I'm in Canada a lot. My name, the way it's spelled, doesn't tell me whether or not I'm black, white, Asian or not. The tone of my voice, we code switch, whether you're speaking English or French. There's dialects within the language where people won't be able to determine who you are.
Exactly.
And so my first experience was a person literally was taken back by the fact that they realized I was black. And it was weird because I don't think they noticed their body language did it. You know what I mean? And so it's those subtle things that it's like, oh, wow, they're black. Which then leads you to believe, like, we can't be this well talented or we can't be this professional. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. We have plenty of talents. That's I think that's one of the main reason why they hate us, because they know if we come together as a nation, all Africans, black communities and whatever, we could do so much. Seriously,
so
we have
much.
so much talent, we have power, and we keep letting other people take it for granted. Like, we have so many riches in Africa, but then they give it away. There's corruption, and then they force you to they divide. They want to divide us in order to keep them down, keep us down.
Ah,
That's. But I mean, it's gonna take a long time to change. But then eventually, when change will happen, it's gonna be
I agree.
glorious.
I agree with you.
Like John Legend said, glory will come someday. So they say Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, yes, but all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, because all lives should matter. I mean, if you're gonna tell me all lives matter, then of course that's why I'm protesting, because mine doesn't, and I want to make sure it does. So.
I appreciate you on that. I appreciate you. So before we leave, I mean, I would ask you to sing me a ballad, but I'm not gonna do that since you said your voice is going away.
No, my voice is there. I'm shy.
It's okay. So tell us, you said you're working on stuff. When is this project coming out? You done told everybody on live that you're a singer. You got a blog coming out. So tell us, when do you have what coming out?
Well, I don't have a specific time frame, because COVID, it's putting a lot of restraints. When you can meet people and make everything happen. But hopefully by the end of July, I can probably launch the website for the blog. And as for the music video, I'm not the one in charge of it, so it's just me and my friends from choir, from church. They are responsible for it. We just not wing it, but we're trying to make it happen as fast as possible. So
That's amazing.
So the project is, we're gonna be singing songs, and when you listen to it, when you stream it, you can make donations, and all the donations will be going to organizations that support Black lives.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for jumping on. And last question. What's your favorite Haitian dish?
Lalo.
Ah, yes.
On top of my head, it's Lalo.
Listen, I had 3 weeks of Haitians and only one person said Lalo. So I appreciate you. FYI, I learned how to make Zia Jonjo for the first time yesterday. So I made Zia Jonjo myself. So if y'all looking for that black rice, come check me out. You know what I mean? All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for joining.
Another dope conversation. Keep traveling and stay safe. Until next time, peace.